Okay, so I'm just putting together a couple things for Christmas Eve dinner, and I've been boiling some fresh cranberries there. And the cranberries are fresh, so I am going to, they're almost done. I'm just going to add 4 tablespoons of maple syrup to those, just to sweeten them up. And that's been, actually these things take a little while, so it's a little piddly, but they're getting mushy now. They take about 10 minutes, a good 10 minutes for the cranberries to get soft. So now that those are done, I'm just going to put them on the side here and stick some hot water on for some lentils, because lentils are really fast to cook. So I've got about a cup of water, and maybe I should measure that for you, a rough idea, or maybe not. Okay, so I'm going to say 2/3 of a cup of lentils. There we go, red ones, because they cook faster than the green ones. So we're just going to let that go on high. Whoops, get these lentils going. I've got a bit of cranberry sauce. Those little cranberries, they make a bit of a mess. Here I have just my empty pot here with just a weensy bit of water. And I'm going to listen to my phone beep at you, but anyways, we're just going to ignore that. So, here we go. Get rid of this onion skin. Like so. We're just going to move that over here. And actually, I have to be there in a little while, so I don't want to waste any time. I'll clean up my kitchen later. Okay, so that's a good way to cut the onion. Just kind of go, you know, this way, and then this way, and then when you slice it, see, it gives you the nice little diced onion. Okay, so get that in there. That should be enough onion. And I am going to add just a little bit coconut oil to that. Probably a tablespoon of coconut oil, and get that on high until it starts cooking. Okay, and I do have some few different types of mushrooms. These ones are, and you know what, I know you're not supposed to wash them, but I am going to wash these real quick, just because they look like they could use a little rinse. Get those bits off. Okay, and then I have, those are just crimini mushrooms, and I am going to use half a portabello. And I also have some shiitakes, which are really super good for you. Shiitake mushrooms are kind of, they're a little bit stronger, but they're so good. Okay, so I can see these lentils are really coming to a boil. They cook super fast. I'm just going to turn those down a bit while I slice up the mushrooms. So I do want these really fine because I actually am not totally sure of what I'm making yet. I'm going to shoot for a kind of a dressing, like a stuffing, with lentils, mushrooms, onions, cranberries, and nuts. And this is a total experiment, so we'll see. But I think as long as you add all the right ingredients, it should be fine. Okay, so that's quite a few mushrooms, and the key to making this fast is, of course, high heat. Mushrooms usually shrink down pretty good anyway, so I guess I don't really need them that thin. So I'm going to throw the mushrooms in. You can see already that the onions are becoming transparent, so it's important to keep your heat on high. I'm just going to give that another second before I throw those mushrooms in. And And I'm going to just grab a little taste of these cranberries, see if that's enough maple syrup. They're tart, but I think they're supposed to be. Okay, so get this on high and put these mushrooms in. Portabellos seem to take a little bit longer, but they might not now that I have them chopped so fine. I don't usually chop them that fine. Give this a little stir, and you can see it doesn't take very long at all for these lentils to get soft. Okay, so let's get these guys sauteing. And you know what? I am actually going to use some dried cranberries, dried organic ones, because I'm thinking that it's just going to taste better because those are pretty tart. And this is like 1/4 cup. I don't know if I want them that big, so I'm going to chop them finely so that they just kind of blend in with that dressing, because I don't know if we want, you know, bigger chunks of cranberries in that dressing. I'll just put that, and I'll use the rest of that. The other thing I think will be really good is deciding on your nuts. You could use pecans, walnuts. Walnuts are always good in any kind of a dressing, but I don't have any. I have pecans, hazelnuts, and cashews. I think cashews be a little too sweet, possibly. So I'm thinking hazelnuts be good. So you can see this is looking really lovely and fast. Okay, so keeping that on high, and I have about 1/4 cup of hazelnuts here, and because they tend to roll around, I am going to attempt to cut them while they fly all over the floor, and I will pick those up because I don't know if they're good for dogs, so I'm not going to take that chance, or cats. They're tricky little things to try and catch in half. But that's okay, I need a minute for that to cook anyways. But I think they will be meatier. There they go again. Hazelnuts on the floor and on the stove. Okay. And I want them to soften. So I'm going to throw them in there so they can cook and get soft. So you can see that's looking really nice. The other thing you could do, if you had leftover rice, either wild or any kind of rice, that would be really good to mix in this. I'm going to try the lentils because I want it to be almost like a little stuffing. So you can see that's looking really good. Oops, I dropped an onion on the burner. Get rid of that. Okay, so this is looking very good. Lentils are looking a little foamy, but by the time everything's done, I'm just going to mix this together. The other thing, as always, get that heat on high. A little bit of cayenne, a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of Celtic sea salt, and I'm going to taste it just to see if I think I should add some Bragg's liquid aminos, which is like a teriyaki sauce. So I don't really know if it's going to have enough flavor as is. Oh, you know what? It's perfect. It is so perfect, and that is so good. Does not need another thing. Oops. Okay, so just going to add this to this. Add the lentils. Actually, I'm going to try them first. Make sure they're soft. Well, they sure don't take very long. Put this together. So I've got, I would say, A cup and a half of lentils. I dump that in there. And you can see it mixing together here. Depending on how much you love mushrooms, onions, and cranberries and things, you might have wanted to use less lentils. Like it actually kind of looked better before I added all those lentils. But the idea is I'm trying to make like a little stuffing, and I want something that's going to try and hold it together a little bit. Okay. You know what? I don't think that is going to hold together, but it might. You could, what my plan is just to eat it as is. But what you could do is put it in the oven and try and see if it'll firm up. Just going to give that another taste. It's perfect, just the way it is. It's got the tartness of the cranberries. It has the hazelnuts, the mushrooms, all 3 different types of mushrooms and onions. Perfect. Okay, so that's like my pretend Christmas stuffing. And let's see if I can just get a better picture for you there without so much steam. Okay, let's see what else I can come up with.